Hello, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome to Barovia. Is it just me, or are we a little light, a little lights this evening? What is going on? Everyone, welcome to something a little different, something we're doing for the first time, actually, on the channel here, which came about from the slightly unfortunate situation that 3 of our bold adventurers were unable to join us this evening. And Michael can just go and sit on his hands. But yes, they've been banned from watching because there may be secrets divulged this evening, which are just between us and you, dear audience. And let me start by saying a massive thank you to everyone who's already joining us here. Alicia and Charlie, good to see you in chat as always, and welcome to everyone else who has jumped on by. Do stick around, because don't feel sorry for him. Michael's my patch, Alicia.
He can handle himself.
So
you know,
yes.
all in time.
A massive thank you to everyone who has come by already, and I hope you enjoy this little different take on our usual Strahd session here. And also a massive thank you, as always, to the people in the VOD squad catching up with our adventures whenever they get the chance. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here with us, and for your patience with my uploading of the videos to YouTube, I thank you very much. Speaking of which, let me put the link there. All of our VODs are over on YouTube. And Twitter is also there. There's a link if you want to give us a follow and get all the news and find out what is going on. It's not too mean. No, what are you talking? Patch is a lovely fellow. Anyone I liken to him is blessed indeed. You're just saying that because you know he's at work and he's not watching. Okay, now I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this Sirenscape moment here. It's very rarely in my games I get to play this particular sound set. This is the general background.
So glad
nice music.
to have
Hey,
helped you.
Rishu, good to see you again. Thank you. Of course, I find you guys
Sorry.
as Merrin dies off. Well, stick around.
I mean, it
Who
wasn't by
knows?
choice.
Who knows?
Blame
Now.
this guy.
Oh! That's you, Chase, isn't it? I remember. Yes, I remember the username now. Hey, buddy. Congratulations on Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed meeting your god. I've been enjoying showing that to students this week. Yes, the face changer and the voice changer is something else. Anyway, I'm trying to say thank you. Sorry. Distract myself. So, yes, a massive thank you, speaking of Sirenscape, to those wonderful Antipodean maestros of sound effects and music for all of your games. Do give them a try for free. And if you fall in love with them, like we have, you can become a Super Siren subscriber and have access to all of their amazing library, huge library of official stuff. And lots of side things as well, not just only D&D is what we're playing and using it for, but also Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu. There's some great Call of Cthulhu stuff in there. It's like, kind of 1940s, 1950s, kind of like semi-modern, background stuff. Car noises and street sounds, and it's Cthulhu, so they go to like these Egyptian streets and like Morocco and go into the bazaars and stuff, and there's lots of really cool sound sets there, and a bunch of board game stuff as well, I believe. So do have a peruse and see if you enjoy it as much as we do. I think you will. Now, also, speaking of music, I cannot go without saying a huge, wonderful thank you and a shout out to the incredible Dark Fantasy Studio, Travis Savoy, and Epic Journey. 3 amazing YouTube channels with music available for your games to use as you wish. Head on over to our VODs. There are links to all of those channels in the information there, as well as a Patreon link for the incredible Will Savino, another amazing purveyor of fantasy music for all of your games. That one costs a little bit of money, but he is very prolific and it is well worth it. Now, that said, let us welcome our solitary player. All alone in the mists. It's Merrin. Hello.
Hey, hello.
How you doing?
I'm here alone in the mist. I'm dead. That's how I'm doing.
Have you forgiven me? That's the important thing.
I might have if you hadn't also killed off my younger brother last week.
Different game, different character. Surely it doesn't count.
It still hurts my soul. Give us another few weeks.
The timing was was just unfortunate. That one was planned. Yours was not. Esmeralda was not. So yes, for those of you that are not sure what is going on here, there was a rather sad turn of affairs. As I turned to my recap notes, Esmeralda died. That's all it says.
You might as well say dead. That's all I say is just dead.
Yes. As our bold adventurers left the abbey in Kresk, rather freaked out by the abbot and their strange practices, and refusing healing from him, they started to make their way down to the village once more, until a whoosh of wings heralded the arrival of airwolves, as a bunch of Aarakocra, who are known to be in the region, have been infected with the curse of lycanthropy, and came swooping out of the skies to attack our poor adventurers. And they had a hard fight with several of them going down and being brought back from the brink of death. And finally they were able to dispatch with all of the foul beasts, and found out that the leader was once the aunt of the leader of Kresk, the Burgermeister of Kresk. Interesting revelations there. But before they were able to reach Esmeralda, lying on the side of the hill, on the path winding down in the snow-covered terrain, she went and rolled a natural 1.
In one session? On a death save. Let me just point out, I would have died earlier.
That's very
If
true.
I hadn't been quite as... I'm still angry about that.
Yeah.
Roll 20.
I mean, yeah, right, Chase. Chase, you're new to D&D. Let me explain what's going on here. When a character is knocked to 0 hit points, I'll show you next week, but I'll tell you now.
I'll just kill somebody off for you so you can see.
Right? Show, don't tell.
Good rule of storytelling.
When a character is knocked down to 0 HP, they have to make death saving throws. If you roll 10 or above, that is a success. If you roll a natural 20, you come back to consciousness with 1 HP, and you can join the fight once more, sometimes very briefly, before you're just knocked out again. But if you roll less than a 10, that is a fail. Now, if you get 3 successes, you come back. Actually comes. People always get healed before it happens. 3 successes brings you back to stable but unconscious, or actually back into 1 HP. Someone, DM Charlie, you got it right in the name there. Hey, Auntie. Oh, Oscar too. Hello. Oscar Bariam. Yeah, Yanti, it's something. The first full on. We've had a couple of staged deaths. Peep behind the curtain, if you will. We've had a couple of staged deaths because we had players leave Japan and had to go home. Pistol was the first of those. Thank you, Charlie. But yeah, our first one was poor old Tarina, our little hedge druid in Descent into Avernus. And, we'll go and have a look at the VODs of that if you want to see some emotion. There was the death, and then dealing with the death, and then getting back to El Chirel and holding a funeral, and all of us were crying for 3 weeks in a row. It was something else. It was something else. So yes, Chase, Redishu, if you get 3 successes, you will be unconscious, but no longer bleeding out and dying. But if you get 3 failures, that is it. No more saves. You are gone. And if you get a natural 1, that counts as 2 failures. Merrin here was on a single death fail, so should have had another round or 2 for someone to heal her. Michael's character was right there and about to do just that. And she rolled a natural 1. Which meant
How about timing?
she drifted away
Farewell, world.
Yes, Charlie, they were short-lived tears as they quickly evaporated in the hellish furnace that is.
Seeing trails of salt on their cheeks.
But yes, there was. It was a very heartfelt moment. But I don't. I mean, did you watch those episodes? Have you seen that, Maren?
Yes. No, wait,
Right.
that one. No, I think I missed that one.
You haven't. Yeah. That's,
I was off the after ones.
Yeah. I mean, Alicia might be able to, back me up on this. It was sad, and it was we were, genuine tears. We were very, very broken up about it, but it was also so beautiful. Just the whole, and as a DM, just to see your players be so connected and so invested in the story, is a feeling I cannot compare with any other part of the game. Really, it's just it's why we're here. We want to enjoy the games, but enjoying isn't just laughing and having fun. It's feeling that connection, feeling that desire to be successful and to see the game through, and for your character to have that investment there. Charlie, they were fighting a couple of Cobalt Press's dune mimics. A couple of sand dune mimics attacked them and had them bogged down, and all rolled on the dice. The timing and everything was just random and very unfortunate. They had also had the random encounter from James Intercrasso's supplement for the module called The Weatherman, where a strange sage is encountered in the middle of the plane of Avernus and predicts the weather. And the weather was rolled randomly as well, and it was a meteor storm. And when it was occurring, was rolled randomly as well, and it happened in that fight. And the druid was already down and unconscious, making death saves, and they were pummeled by the meteors. Now, this is Avernus, you say. They could make a deal, you say, with a devil, you say. She already had a very, very important deal that she made with Asmodeus himself, that her friends and those in Elturel would have a chance to escape, and her friends would be safe if she would forego the chance to return, and the next time she passed away, there would be no coming back, no deal to be made. Her soul would be Asmodeus's for the taking. And Stephanie, the player, made that deal in her car because she was hiding away from her fiancé inside, pretending she was going out to do some shopping so that she could talk to Asmodeus. And oh yeah, Renushu. Yeah, you're lucky. You're just doing this 7-session dip into our little world here. But we're into this quite a lot. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Which is what she deserved. It was so good when she realized what had happened, and she knew that I was going to have to narrate this death scene. We were going to have to narrate it together. She just messaged me, just a simple thing on a private message on my phone. And I saw it just pop up. I just looked down and it was just make it epic. And I think we did. It's clipped on our channel if you want to check the whole sequence from when she went down to when Asmodeus came and took her, and she went to see her sister one last time, and Sirenscape was big, so epic with the music timing and the swelling of it. Oh, it's so good. I watch it from time to time. Despite the feels, it's fantastic.
She is a gem, I agree.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, we're very, very lucky to have such a wonderful group of players. One of whom is right here, and I shall stop talking about other campaigns and other things. The player is not dead in the slightest. Don't you say such things? No. So. Yeah, one of my students called me out on that. I was like, yeah, because some of my students, they sit down at the opening of class, they're like, so what happened this week in the various games? And, some of my adult students that understand what's going on. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And one of them, I said to one of them, it's like, oh yeah, it was really rough. I killed one of my players. And they're like, your players? And I was like, oh no, the character. Which I was impressed they had the nuance to pick that up. I'm an English teacher in Japan, for people who are wondering. the reference there. Now, Marin,
Hello.
how have you enjoyed your brief visit to the Vale of Barovia? Do you want to tell our folks here what was the original deal? People don't know that, I think, as well.
The original deal?
Yeah, do you remember
What do you
your original temporary? You were supposed to have died a while ago.
Yeah, I was supposed to have died quite a while back. I was really supposed to only be there for about 3 sessions, as I recall.
Yep.
Just sort of pop in, be cool, pop out again, possibly be killed by Strahd. And yeah, well, I got kidnapped a few months ago. A few days ago.
Right.
And at that point was supposed to have actually been killed off. But, this is such a great group to play with, and, we kind of thought maybe it would be nice to not be dead quite so quickly, because she's such a cool character as well, and, that new book had just come out as well. It's such a shame to have such a good character die. Yeah, so I ended up sticking around for quite a bit longer. And it's been so much fun.
Indeed. Yes. So the plan was for just to do a few sessions, and then when our party ventured to Berez, they were Esmeralda was to be whisked away to show Strahd's strength and his attitudes and to everyone, and just to really dig the knife in. And but then we decided that we wanted Marin to stick around and play with us more. I'm lucky I get to play with her offline anyway, but you lovely people deserve to see her every week as well. So that happened, and yes, it was decided that she was not killed by Strahd, merely kidnapped. And we managed to combine the Dinner with Strahd encounter, which is a famous part of this module, with having to save her and her mentor. Now, in our games, for reference sake, if we talk about someone called Ayamaris, that is who you would know as Van Richten. In our game, that is an adjustment that we have made. And Ayamaris is the mentor of Esmeralda, as in the module, as Van Richten is usually. They are together on the cover of the book. And and also he is also the mentor of Michael's character, Xenicus. And they are somewhat rivals, as Ayamaris spurned Esmeralda in favor of Xenicus, it seemed, but there were different reasons there. How did Esmeralda feel about that? Back in the material plane, when it was seeming that Ayamaris drove her away, even though it was for different reasons underneath.
Absolutely livid, I would assume.
Right.
Not knowing at the time that was what was going on. Of course, having left her own family for this one, and then being thrown away from this one, discarded in that sense, felt pretty bad. I feel like there probably was some lingering doubt there, because it seemed like such an out-of-character thing for him to do. But we've been arguing quite a bit at that point anyways about various things, and so it seemed best to maybe not push it too much. Yeah, no, it was a painful thing, I think.
Yeah. So let me turn you up a little bit.
That didn't really disappear that much over the time she spent accumulating various exciting things like, interesting wagons and various exciting magical items.
Exploding wagons.
Exploding wagons.
Even better.
Even better. We'll look for first in a wagon. Can it explode?
Yes, for preference, it won't explode anytime soon.
God, I hope not.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff in there still.
Yes. I mean, there is the potential for it to be emptied out and then weaponized at some point.
This is true.
So, yes. Yeah, do you remember the history with Esmeralda and Ayamaris?
Bits and pieces, yeah. I mean, it was several months ago, but yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they have a patchy past. Esmeralda's family was somewhat involved in the death of Ayamaris' son.
Whoops.
And Esmeralda, feeling terrible about that, and wanting to make up for it, approached Diamaris much later as she had come of age. And he nearly killed her out of anger, but then realized that it wasn't her fault. And they became closer, and he became her mentor. And together they vowed to get back at the vampire who Esmeralda's parents had sold Ayamaris' son to. A different vampire from the module for us, we used Janda Sunstar because those lovely folks, speaking of those Avernus folks, those lovely Descent into Avernus folks had just freed him from the Nine Hells, and a vengeful archdevil had allowed him to return to Barovia to seek revenge against Ayamaris. And there was an epic battle at the tower on the Lake Baratok, as you can see in the top left of our map there, as the vampire Janda Sunstar came bounding through the forest in wolf form and attacked them with his allies, and they were able to defend the tower and defend each other and drive off Janda Sunstar for good. And then he appeared in the Van Richten book as one of the Mistwalkers. I was like, oops, never mind. Not in our world. I know, unless the Dark Powers want to just torture him and bring him back to taunt him. Although
everything is possible,
right? He hasn't done nearly as much as Strahd, so I'm not sure if he's as deserving of that kind of treatment. So, what was Esmeralda's feelings like when she was like trapped in Castle Ravenloft? Had she given up? Was she still trying to find a way out? She was locked away down in the catacombs there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you're locked down in the catacombs of an arch vampire lord who is the land.
The first vampire?
Exactly. I mean, it doesn't really lend itself to optimism necessarily. Fair. At the same time, it seemed like such an opportunity to somehow, theoretically, if I could get free, to explore, learn something. Because, I mean, how often do you actually get it to go into Strahd's house?
Yeah, right.
And look around and see what there is to learn there. And so, on top of the despair, there's a certain sense of, oh, this could be interesting. If I can get out of these chains in this dank basement where I'm, locked down. So yeah, I'd say mostly that. Some rage at being, basically impotent in this whole thing and having had very little say in coming with them. Esmeralda doesn't like to be manhandled.
Indeed. Yeah, and I think the contrast between his treatment of you and then like his treatment of Irina was interesting, because he's so dead set on Irina coming by herself to the castle, like making that decision herself. So he was trying to make it evident that there was no safe haven, there was no place that she could be, and to stop all of you from having anywhere to hide her away, and just to show that the whole land would suffer until she. It's equally awful. but yeah, it's
a very different approach though.
Right.
Whereas it's like, oh, you have a neck I can grab.
Yes, indeed. Janda got the treatment, quote unquote, last night in my Avernus campaign. Nice, Charlie. So was he destroyed in Avernus? Or has he been released like our poor unwitting adventurers did? That was Tarina as well, the druid that got. Let us know. Always nice to hear about other people's stories. Actually, I don't know if I said this to you, Marin, I've actually stopped rewatching all the VODs. I used to watch every VOD again before the sessions.
Oh really?
But I was just in such an echo chamber of it was just like only Phoenix Awaki stuff all the time. And I want to watch other people. There's all these amazing creators in the space, all these wonderful streamers and all the cool stuff on YouTube. There's all these I've just found. I was like, why aren't they uploading the games from D&D Live last weekend? But they're over on the G4 channel, not on the D&D channel. So I just found all of those to dive into.
Yeah, there's so much fantastic content out there these days.
Yeah, there's so many amazing
Although I do
people.
hope you watch them at least once for our funny clips.
I know. I'm gonna miss those.
No.
But
Yeah.
it was so much work.
Yeah.
And hopefully
I can imagine.
I can use that time on other things.
Yeah.
Hi, Alex. How you doing, mate? Everyone, say a big hello to Thug. I cannot wait for Saturday, Alex, as we return finally to Candlekeep Mysteries. It's gonna be so good. Okay,
Landlord, shut
yes,
up.
the landlord. Don't mention Haruman to our poor crew. They have trauma there. Yeah, I know, Alex. Right? It's gonna be amazing. So good. Can't wait to get back into it. Everyone, do join us on Saturday for Candlekeep Mysteries. We are using the incredible supplement from Dylan, from the Chaos crew. He has written this incredible supplement that you can use to tie all of the Candlekeep Mysteries one-shots together into a coherent campaign with a really awesome big bad who Redishu might be interested in as well, for reasons. And So there was always going to be a few sentences like that tonight. He said, trying to speak. Says, I mean, I've been working, I haven't been drinking. Unfortunately. Just been speaking all day, unfortunately. My mouth is just like, nope, no more.
No more speaking. We're done for the day.
Interesting, yes. If you have patches, if you want to do that interesting thing there, Redishu, you need patches emoji for that. Hang on, where is it?
Oh, yeah.
The steepled
Do you
fingers.
have it?
I do.
So
I do.
good. I love
Where
it.
is too many subscribe channels. It's Quest Junkies. Where are you? There it is. Tiny icon. Don't be looked. Oh, damn it. Yes, okay.
Locked?
It's a higher tier, or maybe on a bits one or something. I've only got.
Not the shame. Such a good emoji.
In lieu of steepled fingers, I shall dab instead. Close. It involves the hands.
There's some angles happening.
So yes, big welcome in to everyone. A few people joined us since we got started here today. Hey, Teens Dungeon, good to see you. Today we're doing something a little different, as unfortunately Merrin's character passed away last week, and we are without our normal crew. So we are having a little post-mortem.
Literally.
Which is rather apt for Barovia. And just talking about how it's going and how it's been, and the Iwakiverse in general, as it has been dubbed by, I think Stephen was the first to say that. Thanks to everyone who joined us for Out of the Abyss earlier. We had a good old time. That is a good combination. Patch at gunpoint from Rain. Nice. Orangey. Everyone do check out Quest Junkies UK and Orangey. Good friends of ours. Let me do some shout outs here so that you may tab them in another tab and give a little follow. Quest Junkies UK.
News campaign, I am still alive.
Yes, over there. And you're alive in one of mine. It's not evidenced online, but it is there.
But my number of PCs by 33%.
And Orangey. Oop. There you go. Two very different streams there, but wonderful streams, both of them, and well worth your eyeballs. Do give them a follow if you are not already. And you can enjoy all kinds of gaming and Dungeons & Dragons and the like. Wonderful guests. We enjoy having them on our channel whenever we have the chance, and it is always a good time to go and hang out there and enjoy chatting with them. Speaking of chatting, if anyone watching has any questions for either Merrin or I, do feel free to ask while we are hanging out here in a more relaxed, less story-filled environment.
Light it as violence. For the moment.
Yes. It's interesting. One thing I was, I'd be interesting to see any GMs, DMs watching Charlie. Just going by title. I know you're running some games. How do we feel about the fail forward mentality? It's like, I think it shouldn't be something. Do you know what I mean by that? It's a phrase that's quite common.
Absolutely.
Sorry, yeah. It's just using it without thinking. It's like, it's this concept of being able to carry on and do something after a tragic event, shall we say? Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. How do you think, as the character in question, Maren, how massively does a character's death impact story progression?
Well, that's a great question, and I think probably as DM, you have more of a sense of how it impacts the overall story. But speaking as the PC, it depends. I think ultimately on your character's relationships with the world and who they've built up those ties with, and if you have any shared backstory that you could have built on that is suddenly taken away, that you wouldn't be able to really rebuild with a new character. So you kind of lose all that potential future story. At the same time, it is kind of like a thesis, antithesis, synthesis type of thing, where it is a setback, obviously, in a lot of ways, but also leaves room if that person still wants to play, or even if they don't, there's still a gap there that can be filled by something else.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it shakes things up, but it doesn't necessarily ruin the overall narrative. I don't know if John wants to add to that.
Yeah, because our losses that we had that were, scheduled, shall we say, the players moved away, so there was no reason, no way that they were going to be continuing on. But Stephanie's was interesting because she got the chance to come back, and she was very clear that she wanted to play a character that was already tied to the story.
It makes it a lot easier,
right?
Yeah.
Which is why she came back as Rhea Mantlemorn, and the moment she suggested it, I just fell in love with the idea, because it's just almost a waste to have this amazing NPC just languishing up there in Elturel, doing nothing, when she would be just chomping at the bit to be out there taking the fight to the devils, and being on the front line of helping her city, and yeah, it was really interesting to see her do that. And I think it was also, there was a slight benefit there of it being an NPC that wasn't too much in the limelight, and hadn't been for a while since they arrived in the Hells. So they hadn't, it made it easier for her to step into those boots, I think, as opposed to, say, what would be another example? To say, like Iamaris here, who's been in a lot of scenes, throughout the whole thing, that would be quite tricky to take over for someone, I think. And yeah, Esmeralda was a great choice as a, not replacing a character, but coming in as a first character for the campaign as well, for similar reasons.
And we already established those ties to Xenakis and to Iamaris, so she'd have something to build off of as she started with the party.
Exactly.
I think just starting cold would have been very difficult.
Yeah. Let's have a look at these folks. Thank you for typing in chat this your stuff. Yeah, it's awesome. Good. There are good and bad fail forwards. It shouldn't be used all the time. Absolutely, teens. Yeah. I think if there's a reason, story-wise, and of course, depending on the wishes of the player as well. And if there is a, I don't like to just kind of hand wave things too much. I do like there to be a reason, and I do like there to be, proper cause for the return of the character. Especially if you're going to use something like a Revenant. I mean, that's a very powerful thing. Like Liam O'Brien's character in the first Critical Role campaign, you need something so strong, something so driving that you are, forced to return and not move on yet. Alicia, I do mourn the strangling of story threads, all that unmined lore. Yes, exactly. Yes, Alicia, for everyone here in chat, Alicia is our lore master, knows more about the campaigns than I do.
She's the queen of lore.
And in many cases. Absolutely, yeah. And I think as a DM, it's very hard to let go of ideas and things that you're looking forward to, and even more so for the DM maybe, because they do plot somewhat.
Yeah, you can see all the threads that we don't see and see where they don't go, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. When they can be thorough, satisfyingly concluded. That is always the best way, isn't it? Yeah. Avernus is going to be interesting. I think Avernus is going to be my second finished campaign. I've only finished one campaign so far. Before we started streaming, Michael, who you all know, and Stephen, who's in our Out of the Abyss game, just the two of them. It was a small party. Oh, yes, I was there for a while as well. Yes, excuse me.
It was very short.
Just because I was thinking at the end. Yeah. Yes, and Merrin as well as her offline Eberron character were playing in Dragon Heist, and that was the first ever campaign that I finished. Just Michael and Stephen at the end, and it is a real challenge to satisfyingly address the main story whilst addressing backstory as well, and trying to tie the characters in. But a very satisfying challenge in of itself as well. So fun to do. I love doing that kind of work there. Jolly. A character death is easier to handle than a player just quitting, but death is a part of the game, and their history can inform subsequent characters. Yes, yeah, that's a good point. I like that. Especially if you're doing a consistent world, right? And the future campaigns will be happening in the same locations and have the chance to tie in with those previous characters. Absolutely. Yes, all of our campaigns are interwoven. Even all of our one-shots are all in the same world. And
Multiverse.
Yes, indeed. Even our honey heist was in canon. Happened on this very map that you see, right? Yes, indeed. Teens, what's teens doing here? It's great to have losses, and as a DM to flesh out the story, showing the changes caused by the characters' lives and how it affected the world, and questioning what changes could have been if they'd lived, but also what NPCs feel ache for the loss of those characters. Yes, right. Different people play D&D in different ways, but just that. Connecting NPCs and connecting with the world, to the players, and I mean, I think that helps make it feel more real for all of you. Is that fair? How from the player side of things, how is that?
I mean, the stakes are certainly higher, right? When there is something to be lost.
Yeah. I mean, we have to remember it is a game as well, right? So we do want the challenge there, and if there's no cost, if there's no threat of being unsuccessful, then being successful is that much less sweet.
Yeah.
And I think I mean, again, different groups have different outlooks on that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think some groups are less competitive and just there for the laughs, and probably happy just to be brought back whenever anything happens, without too much thought about it. And then other groups are like, nope, I lost, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Let me deal with those consequences. Alicia, I think when a player quits, it has to be handled sensitively, considering the wishes of the players and the circumstances of the leaving too. Yeah, indeed.
For sure.
Indeed. I have I've had just one player leave because we weren't their style, and that is absolutely fine. We do like to get into the feels and sometimes, and they were quote unquote a beer and pretzels gamer. That's how they put it.
I love that term.
And that's absolutely fine. We only want people here who enjoy it. So we don't want people to. And definitely, I mean, if you're in the same situation, don't feel obliged to be miserable in a game just because you don't want to bail on everyone. You do need to find the table for you, right? And the group for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been very lucky here. We've got so many wonderful groups, and they do all gel very nicely. And seem to enjoy what's going on. Have you
Usually.
usually. Unless you're bloody killing us. Wahahaha.
Hey, it's Batch. Hello.
Hey, there he is. Let me just type some stuff.
Welcome to
here.
the secrets.
Secrets. Mwahahaha. I want to read Bolly's and Charlie's thing before they disappear. Everyone, stop commenting. Stop commenting. I can scroll. Hang on, if I put my mouse over it, it will stop scrolling. There we go. Ha ha ha. Oh, it does. It stops for 5 seconds. Damn it.
Junkie over there.
So, yes, Bolly Firesmith, good to see you. Thank you for coming on by. I have yet to kill a player off in my campaign. If the players do end up dying, I will have to figure out if there's a way for them to still have some fun by either a new character or some way to work it out. Yeah, exactly. And it very much depends on the campaign and the setting that you're in. And I think, again, of course, yeah, the player's wishes. As I said, with Tarina in Descent into Avernus, we went with the new character, the different character, because she had made one deal too many and was unable to bring her own character back. But the weight of that decision was like, you should have seen Steph's face when she had to make that decision. It was,
Can you imagine?
It was so good. It was so good. Charlie. Also try to write plots that aren't specific to any particular character over too long a thread. Backstory sessions should advance the characterization, of course, but in my experience, giving too much weight to a PC surviving, i.e. Character X is the only person that could wield the world-saving weapon, has derailed more than a few of the campaign. Right. Yeah, exactly. Just, design for flexibility. Yeah, exactly. I like to drop in threads that I haven't finished weaving, like things that can be left open, and then if an opportunity arises, then you can tie back to that, and it looks like
What's the
you
term for that?
planned it
The gardening
all along.
style of narrative creation.
Yeah, plot seeding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Let me look here. Beer and pretzels, the American
Gosh, why would you say
standard.
that?
Oh, that's very rude. None of us will die in Rodania. We shall all retire in old age, wealthy and wise. Everyone, Quest Junkies UK, you can find Maren and I playing together, not as DM and player, but as player and player in Patch's Quest Junkies UK. I've already done your shout out, Quest Junkies. You're not getting another one. So, Bully, we're running a very long campaign, 6 books long, and we're into book 2 right now. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Don't want to leave out a player for years. Yeah, absolutely.
Reasonable.
It's fine. Bully, just do what I do. Just run 7 different campaigns at the same time.
It's the easy solution.
Right?
What's taking you so long?
I got a couple of Brit players as well, Charlie. Nice. Excellent. I saw your stream the other day, actually. It was fun to see everyone and put faces to names. 5. There we go. That's a good run. Hey, Time Knows Why. Thank you again. It was good. Thank you for dropping into the Underdark.
I love those emotes. They're so cute.
Yeah, they're awesome. Got lots of Whovians around here.
Nice.
Missing here. Teens, past 12 years, had 1 player quit, but that was due to a work schedule change. I've had to remove a player as well during that time. Ooh, okay, I've been lucky there. I've never had to chuck anyone out. Chase, I'm watching
What a
you.
challenge.
No. We've been playing and DMing. The week is full. Good, Yancy. I'm glad that you're finding lots of spaces and things to enjoy, and outlets for that. Oh, thank you, Yancy. And squeezing some of that in between, if there is the opportunity. 7, yes, Charlie, yes. Lucky for some, tiring for others. Oh, that's awesome.
I'm thoroughly impressed by all of your time management skills.
Meanwhile, behind the scenes, it's like, oh shit, what's that? Oh no, I forgot to do that.
I mean, you don't see any of that. We just see this like calm, gray curtain behind you, and like the soothing music playing.
Hello, wherever and whenever you. We're absolutely fine here. Nothing on fire in the background.
How are you?
This is the Mr. Ravenoff. It's not smoke billowing from my computer from overwork.
Of course not.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, you've got another one coming up, Alicia. Nice. Glad to hear it. Glad
Exciting.
to hear it. Yay! That new campaign smell. I'm really excited. I hope some of you are able to join Rilushu and I on Tuesday. I know Marion was watching. Thank you very much. I'm very interested to see how this 7-session campaign goes. Like, am I going to be able to do this? It's going to be an interesting thing to watch. Patch, you can't complain. I keep inviting you, but you keep doing work and things. pesky.
I'll get your priorities straight.
Well, yes, indeed. Now, hang on, sorry. Us chaotic DMs, don't turn on the camera and tour it. Yes, exactly.
You do it so well. We see nothing. We see the smoothly polished exterior.
Damn straight. Okay. Now I'm gonna just come over to my phone here and look at Twitter, just to remind myself of my own wording on our tweet earlier. Curse of Strahd later. Something different. A one-to-one chat with Merrin after Esmeralda's death. And... ... I think it's been absolutely lovely chatting with everybody. And there will be a chance after as well if you wish to chat any more. If you have anything else to ask, do ask away. But I think, dear viewers, it's time for a little dots. Now, last week, Aarakocra werewolves came swooping out of the sky, down on the slopes of the side of the Abbey of Kresk. Our strong adventurers fought them off valiantly, but Esmeralda, despite your skills with sword and magic, the Loup-Garou, the lead werewolf of this pack, white of fur, red of muzzle, dripping with the blood of Krieg as he lay bleeding in the snow, came swooping down on you, crushing you to the ground, tearing at you with tooth and claw. And you saw nothing but winged death filling your vision. And then everything went dark. You could hear, faintly, in the background, the sounds of the battle still going on. Your party members battling against these werewolves and defeating them. Hope. Maybe somehow you could cling on long enough for one of your friends to get to you. But then the mists closed in. And everything went dark. You don't know how long it was before things started to lighten once more. You started to be able to see around you again. And all that you saw was thick, roiling mist, completely obscuring any sight of the Abbey, any sight of Kresk, any sight of anything at all. And then a swirling mist. Movement. The faint suggestion of an outline of a humanoid figure. But something different, something reaching out, spread wide, as a figure stepped out of the mists towards you. And as they move closer, you begin to see clearer. A tall woman. Long, flowing blonde hair. Vast, white-plumed, angelic wings spreading from her shoulders behind her. As she stepped serenely towards you.
What is this?
Esmeralda.
I don't know you.
Esmeralda.
What is this?
Please.
No.
I'm here to help.
How do you know who I am?
Your friends. Your friends. They asked me to help you.
What? What is this place? I've never seen anything. What?
This is the mists. And they will come for you. If you don't join me. The mists will take you. You must... And she reaches out a hand. You must come with me. Please. And her face looks almost stricken. I've lost 2 sons. But I've never had a daughter. Please, let me help you.
That's a... What?
I can take you back. I can take you back to your friends.
What? Who are you? Why are you... I don't even know who you are, and you're offering to be my mother?
No. Just a guide. A way home. Look, I'm sorry. I have the advantage. My name is Tidra. I was sent here to try and reclaim this place, this abbey. Your friends.
Are you the abbot?
Yes. I'm one in a long line of angels sent to try and free this land, to free him. And
Yo, it's Strahd.
No.
We heard you.
No. I'm doing what's necessary. I'm doing what's needed to appease him.
Wedding dress? Do you know what that means?
Yes. He will be
made happy. Anyway.
He will be appeased. He will set free the land. He will look to his own love. He will forget his tyranny. He will forget what he is doing to Barovia.
You seem very confident about this. You just stopped him earlier. Why do you need to do anything else to help him? If I'm supposed to trust you, you're not doing a very good job of it. And those monstrosities up in your castle?
They needed help too. I'm just trying to help.
I'm turning them into half human, half animal.
It's what they wanted.
Monstrosities.
It's what they wanted. Come with me. Please. I can take you back. As she suddenly looks up to the side and around her. No, please. Give me more time. Not. She reaches to her neck, and 2 bright red wheels open on her throat, and blood gushes down onto her white tunic, and her white feathers staining them red, and her form shifts into that of a different humanoid. That of Iamaris' son, choking on the blood, choking on the death wound that Janda Sunstar gave him after your parents sold him. Your parents took him away from Ayamaris. Your family did this, Esmeralda, he starts to say.
No.
This is you.
No, it wasn't me.
You did this to me.
I didn't know. I tried to save you.
Your kin.
Tried.
You are too
Tried.
late. You and that old fool.
We did what we could.
Impotent. Fools. You killed
We could have done
me.
anything else.
And he comes stumbling towards you, clutching at his wound, choking on the blood. What do you do?
What we did to you at that point was a mercy. I guess, do I have anything with me?
No, you're in a simple tunic.
I will lash out defensively.
Okay.
Will I hit anything?
Roll an unarmed attack.
Okay. 2 seconds. The natural 20.
Nice.
Now I get the 20s. I'm trying to punch dead children. Dear God.
He was late teens when it happened, I think.
I'm trying to punch dead teens. May not have been of age. I rolled in that 20s. Why?
So yeah, you lash out. Your training just
Lord.
kicks in, right? Your natural instincts. You lash out towards this vision of Ayamaris' son, stumbling towards you. There it is. There's a new natural 20. And he reaches towards you, and your blow clacks across the jaw, straight and true, and passes through as the figure erupts into mist and dissipates out through and around. And the mists roll in once more.
I will start running in any direction.
You can hear the voices of your friends. Crying.
Can I hear where they're coming from?
Pleading. You hear Xenakis' voice. Vanta! Vanta, do something!
I start bolting towards the sound of that voice. If I can figure
Just-
where it is.
Start blindly running, just your arms like waving, trying to move this full-on pea super out of the way, just trying to get through. Sherlock Holmes would be proud. Or Jack the Ripper. Nah, let's go with Sherlock Holmes. And just desperately trying to make your way through towards the sound, but it doesn't seem to get any closer. And you look around, and the sound has disappeared again. You think maybe you hear it in the opposite direction, far, far away. But again, it's whisked away, as if the mists are trying to keep you separated. The mists that are clinging to you, wrapping around you. Much more than any natural mists would. And then you realize the mists are starting to take form, taking the shape of ethereal hands, reaching out of the mists, grabbing at your arms, your clothes, your legs, around your throat. You hear the lost souls of Barovia swirling through the mists, screaming in terror, screaming in hunger for this new life, this new one that has stumbled into the mists as the hands grab towards you, clinging, pulling. What do you do?
If there's anything I do, shake them off. I'm frantically trying to push them away, to brush them off, to dissipate them. Anything.
Okay, what do you do? You gonna try and make an athletics check?
What it is, I suppose it would be.
Are you trying to dodge or like physically remove them?
I'm trying to brush them off, I think. I get them away from me anyway. If there's smoke, I'm trying to just, like you would regular mist, I suppose.
Yes.
I have nothing else to compare it to.
Okay.
Would it be athletics?
Yes. Yeah, try and do an athletics check there.
It's 19. Why am I rolling all the good rolls now?
Yes. You
As really doesn't like these mists.
You grab one of the hands and tear it from you, and as it separates from your skin, it just whisks away, it just billows away and evaporates. You put another and it disappears. But just as soon as you're tearing them off, as soon as you are dealing with them, new ones are reaching out, but many more than you are actually pulling off your person, and they're still grabbing at you. You feel your hair pulled back. You feel them wrapping around your throats. Do you say anything?
What do you say in a situation like this?
Good points. And as it seems like this is the end, you can feel them tearing at you. You can feel them pulling away your soul. You can feel them stealing your soul into the mists. But then they start to let go. And they start to disappear into the mists, drawing back.
Can I see any reason why this is this? Why it's clearing up?
You hear something approaching through the fog and the swirling mist as the hands, almost in fear, draw back and dissipates, leaving you alone. And you see another figure strolling confidently with purpose through the mists towards you. And as we welcome Patch from Questionkeys UK, I pass it over to you.
Esmeralda Davenir, I am sorry to see that this is how your story ends.
What? Who are you?
Interesting question. I have been labeled many names by many people. If I were to choose one, I would say I am Osibus.
You?
You seem surprised.
Yes? Why are the mists afraid of you? And what do you want with me?
Where to begin? I believe you and I have common interests.
Oh, we do.
Certainly.
Now, what would those be?
I would very much enjoy seeing the end of a certain Count of Barovia. A certain Strahd von Zarovich.
I see. And what does that have to do with this? With me?
Well, this is your chance. This is... call it an opportunity. Do you really want the footnote of the story of the great Esmeralda Davenir to be a simple encounter with lesser beings? Or would you prefer to continue on and have your story continue on past the story of Strahd?
You know anything about me, you know this isn't how I wanted to die. But you...
Of course.
Why are you doing this for me? There's clearly I have one option, two options. What's in this for you?
The end of Strahd, which would be
And that's all.
quite delectable.
There's that chance. I could go back.
Absolutely.
No catches.
None that would be unworth of the price to pay. Certainly. I will grant you passage to return from where you were taken. But such conditions would tie part of your soul forevermore with the mists of Ravenloft.
My soul for Strahd's.
I foresee you having a
That's-
much brighter future than him.
Well, this is the only chance that I have. Seems like I have little choice anyways, but fine.
He reaches a hand out to you, which at first is just shadow, but then seems to like peel away and be just like a nice, quite soft looking human hand.
He'll reach out and take it slightly despairingly.
Okay, it's quite a soft hand, but a
What's razor
firm
do you use?
handshake. A firm handshake.
I'm sure he turns it then.
Very well. Your story
what?
continues, Esmeralda Devanir. I have high hopes for you.
Better be worth it.
He just smiles at you.
What now? I just wake up, my soul tied.
What do you think, John?
The mists will deliver her back where she is destined.
The mists will retake you, but you shall find yourself where you need to be.
You're sending me back to the mists.
They are part of you now. You may find some benefits to this agreement in due time. But I'm not one for spoilers, if you catch my drift.
With that, this figure calling themselves a Cybus and offering a way back at a price. For every journey has a price. The figure turns and strides almost nonchalantly off into the mists. And as they start to disappear, just before the white swirling of fog rolls in once more, you get the briefest glimpse of a mountainside covered in snow and a vast edifice to a temple hidden in the mountain with the orange gleam of amber standing at its door. And then there's a crunch. And you feel pebbles. Wet grass against your legs. Some of Vanta's friends flapping by as you hear ravens. And you see reaching limbs, scratching fingers coming for you once more, but no, this time it's just the bare branches of trees. The bare branches of the Svalich woods. And as the mists slowly roll back, leaving you here on the road with your possessions, with most of your soul. You turn around, looking this way and that, and in the near distance, you see it. The walls and gatehouse of the village of Kresk, and up on the hillside behind it, the abbey, where your friends mourn your disappearance. And with a great cacophony of sound, as if the Raven Queen herself is angry at this soul undelivered, the ravens come soaring through the trees, gathering on the branches. You look up into those trees, and you stop. And you stand stock still as you stare up into the branches at the sight that lies before you, as you, Esmeralda d'Avenir, stand on the Svalich road, looking up into the trees at... And I am going to stop there. Hey, Patch.
Hi.
Oh,
Good to be here.
you make very questionable deals. Nevertheless, I am grateful. Possibly.
You don't know how much of my soul I sold to John just to appear on Curse of Strahd.
I wasn't gonna say.
Very reasonable, very reasonable.
I'm at 49%.
Thank you, Roleplayers Guild. Good to have you here. Sorry, I was busy when you dropped in at the start. When you said hello. All right. Oh, I was looking forward to doing that.
Well, that happened.
Sorry to trick you there, Marin. It was around the last minute that Patch was invited.
Not at all. Not at all. It was a pleasant surprise.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I cannot wait to finish that sentence either.
Oh man.
Especially...
I am very excited.
As it's all Krieg's fault, shall we say. As a little teaser. What can it be? Patch doesn't know either. But anyway.
Hearing.
Hey, let me chill out this music a little bit. Dramatic ending music. Sorry. Hey, huge thank you for everyone who joined us for this rather interesting departure from our usual pattern of things. It was lovely to talk with you, Marin, about other bits and bobs.
Likewise.
And chat as well. Thank you for sharing all of your thoughts and ideas. It was a pleasure to have you there. I love how active our chat is. Like,
you
I
guys are the
bounce,
best.
I bounce around a lot of streams, and there are so many streams where it's me and the streamer, like going back and forth an awful lot. But everyone else is just lurking away. And if you are looking, that is okay. But I'm very, very happy that lots of you, yes, indeed, I'm very happy that lots of you choose to jump in and engage with us, as we do so love to have you along for our adventures. But that is all for our adventures today. Do stick around as we are going to go raiding. I think as they raid us every week, but we're finishing a little earlier, it would be very rude of us not to head on over to roll for damage. I assume they are playing. Let me quickly double check. I think AJ on Tuesday said that they were. Yes, they are. The Academy of Xandar. AJ is DMing this. Chase, you played with AJ on Tuesday. Everyone, if you enjoyed AJ in our stream, our new total package stream on Tuesday, the Snout of Omgar, do stick around for the raid and witness her as an incredible DM. The voices
so
and the players are so good as well. Yes, do stick around as we do that. But if you would like to see more of us before we figure out what the end of that sentence was, we will be back here on this channel, same time tomorrow evening for Descent into Avernus, and we shall be joining the adventurers there. And once again, after a month away, a painful month away, we'll be back with the Candlekeep Mysteries crew on Saturday, before next Tuesday jumping back into the jungles of the Snout of Omgar to continue our incredible miniature campaign. 7 sessions, grab them while they're hot, folks. A mere 7 sessions. It's going to be an incredible, exciting ride, and I hope that you can join us for that. Yes, Morgris, fire more, I see you. Thank you so much, and thank you for Tuesday as well. And then that will bring us all the way back round to Thursday, when we will be, after a brief trip to the Underdark, back here in Barovia. And Merrin will not be here right away, but as soon as those folks leave Kresk and venture out on the road, they shall find her, stood stock still, looking up into the branches of the trees.
I'm sure it's going to be completely fine.
This is all fine. I'm sure. All right. So, thank you, everyone. Do stick around first for our incredible outro created by this fine bearded fellow right here, Patch from Quest Junkies UK. If you have any video editing, creative, online, community network stuff, anything that you are interested in hiring for at the moment, this fine gentleman is looking for a job in that realm of things, and you could not do any better. I was going to say you could do much worse, but that's a terrible thing to say. You could not do any better. that's how the phrase goes, right? So no, you could not do any better. Yes, definitely. If anyone has any projects that they are seeking to hire for, please get in touch. And we will be back over on Quest Junkies UK before too long. I am looking forward to it. As Yavis the Bearfolk and creepy bug lady Merrin Bastia continue with our fine friends Alicia in chat and Michael as well, and of course Mr. Happy, druid extraordinaire, Bax, known to his business contacts as Mr. Stabber. No, Mr. Stabber, please.
Mr. Stabber.
Mr. Tabber, sorry, Bax. The S sound is already in there.
Oh, there you go,
Mr.
Patch.
Mr. Tabber. Oh, DM Charlie. Message Patch, message DM Charlie right now.
I'm doing a thing.
Excellent. Yes, DM Charlie, witness his fine work, as we like to say, round these parts. Oh, yes, Thank you, everyone.
Oh, yes,
Bye.
See ya.